Well, welcome along to another themed week on Property Tribes, and I'm so excited about this week. It's Young Entrepreneurs Week, and joining me is a young entrepreneur himself, Ryan Carruthers of Venture. And Ryan, it was really you that inspired me to come up with this week. And why do you think it's important to showcase young entrepreneurs?
Well, wow, that's praise to start with, isn't it? Gosh, how am I supposed to follow that? I just think that we don't actually get the coverage that we deserve. There is a lot of benefits that we can add. There's also some disadvantages. We're not perfect, but to be able to showcase our skills and our abilities, we can bring a lot to the table, and we can maybe give a different eye to experienced property people and work alongside them to push businesses on, to look at ways differently. I mean, we're in an ever-changing world now, aren't we? And we're at the heart of that, so the best people to learn from are us.
Quite, and we really hope that you're going to be inspired by some of the young people that we're going to be featuring this week. They're all under 30, and there's many different property journeys, and you've had a very interesting property journey yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, very strange journey to property. So I always describe my life as a series of unfortunate events that led to a series of very fortunate events. So training to be a physio, dad becomes ill, I step into the family business because my dad has been my hero. He supported me through anything I wanted to do when I was at uni. He paid for me to be at uni. He gave me some money and I was selling makeup. So my entrepreneur journey started quite early. And then he comes back to full health, and I got the bug then. I was like, I don't want to work for somebody else and blah, 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 blah. So I had a business of my own, Betfair Trading. Someone made me an offer to buy it, and I was like, oh man, yes, I'm going to go and buy a Range Rover or something. I didn't. I looked at a house, I offered on a house, and then this whole crazy property journey started, and I never thought, from offering on that house to being sat here today doing the developments that I planned, that would ever happen. And that's just crazy, but that's property.
Indeed. And I think being a young entrepreneur, so much of it is about mindset, isn't it? And I think when I say that, I mean the willingness to constantly learn and grow.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I'm always wanting to learn. Even when I'm on holiday, I drive Sarah mental because I'll look at something and go, I wonder how they do that. And I wonder if they did this and this different, would that change their bottom line? Would they be able to generate more satisfaction from their customers and all that? And we're desperate to learn, and that has always been prevalent throughout my whole life. And then you back that up, and I've always had that mindset where I'm not fussed about my age. I've never have been. Nothing's ever going to stop me. You know, I always say that I grew up a ginger kid, so nothing anyone's going to say to me is going to put me off. And then it's true, and it comes back from my parents. They've always been that ridiculously supportive of whatever I've wanted to do. You know, I was always told that as long as I always came to my mum and said I'd done something wrong, she'd never be angry. So I never grew up with any expectations of I had to do this and this. It was always supportive. And I think that paired with the world we live in, where information is freely available, especially on websites like Property Tribes, where you can find all the information, you haven't really got anything stopping you. If you want to do something, you can do it, and there's somebody who can help you. And don't let your age stop you, and just go for it, and don't be scared, you know.
I do get excited when young people start out in property, because we all know that property is a long-term game. If you start out young, you've got so much more time to reap the rewards, and if you do make mistakes, which we all do, part of the learning journey, you've got a lot more time to recover from those and get over them and move forward. So, I mean, it was actually your blog about the advantages of being a young entrepreneur that kind of sparked me to think of this week. So what other advantages do you think you have as a young entrepreneur?
Well, I think that the drive is a big one. I'm very driven, and so are all the other young property entrepreneurs, and I'm a bit scared about meeting them now because it's going to make everything a bit more competitive, but that's good because a rising tide will raise all ships. But we're driven, we're hungry, and we live in an age where anything is possible, and we're constantly told that through the media. So that's one. And then I think the technology side is massive for me. I mean, I run multiple businesses, and they all run off off my laptop. And I've said to you many times that I believe I can do more damage in a coffee shop on a laptop than I could in an office anywhere in the world. And that's true. We live in an age now where everything can be done near enough electronically. I have a Slack group where I talk to my VA, the lady who does my viewings. It's probably, while we're sat here now, they're probably conversing and sorting it out and doing a move-in. And it's just, that's another advantage. I understand technology massively. It's easy for me. But that saves me having to do it, and it also saves probably in employing somebody as well, to be honest. And I think because I understand that, that's a huge advantage. And the fact that I learn so quickly, so do other young people. We can pick something up like that and then be on to the next thing, and we've already understood that, so we can move forward quicker. I think that's a massive advantage.
And I think young people also, they tend to be a lot more fearless. They don't have limits or kind of set ways of thinking. And I think, you know, one of the great things about property is there's so many different strategies and so many different ways to make something of it. And I think young people, they're open to everything, aren't they? Yeah,
definitely. I don't have any fear or any self-limiting beliefs. I scare Kim all the time. He says that I'm braver than him, and this is a man who is an ex-world Taekwondo champion. So he's fought some of the toughest people about. He's got a face that's been punched, and he says that I'm braver than him, and that comes from my age. I think I'm not scared of anything. I don't have any self-limiting beliefs. I fully believe that I can do anything I want to, but then that's backed up by the time. I know that I've got time to make mistakes. So if I make a mistake, it's not going to be the end of my career. I've got the time to make that mistake and to come back from that mistake and then maybe try something else. I've got the connections to try something else, but it comes back to the time. I've got so much time, and I don't have many commitments in the traditional sense. You know, I'm not married with children and all that kind of thing. So I've got time to actually spend on the business. And yes, I've had to make sacrifices because I can't do everything that I always want to do, you know, and there's been times where I've not been able to go away for weekends with friends and stuff like that because I've been building IKEA furniture, for example, which has actually happened. I've got a very, very supportive partner, which is massive for me. I remember the first house we did, it was a HMO. There was 6 bedrooms, and it was over August bank holiday a couple of years ago. And I was rushing to get all this furniture done because I was doing everything myself at that time. And I'd been there all week trying to build this furniture, and she just turned up on the weekend with her dad's tools, and she was like, I'm here to help you build the furniture. I'm like, oh, thank God. And, you know, she's like 5'2". She'll probably kill me for calling her 5'2", but she's lugging like 6 foot wardrobes around with me, and without the people around me, I would never ever be able to do this. So yeah, I mean, she's so supportive even when there is sacrifices to be made, and she's just there like, you've got this, go off and do it. And it's a massive help.
No, I think that's so important that people are prepared to make sacrifices. You have to be very determined, very driven, very focused. You may not be out partying with friends all the time because, you know, as you say, that you're focusing on your business. And I think, you know, for young entrepreneurs, there's so many opportunities out there now. And you know, people are going to be watching this week, and I have to say we have some incredible young people coming up, don't we? We know, we've done the interviews earlier. What do you hope that Property Tribes members take away from Young Entrepreneurs Week?
Wow, so many inspiring stories, so many. So I just hope that they think that anything is possible, and you'll see that through the people's stories and the challenges in which they've overcome. You know, we're all going to have challenges, but if you're driven and you've got that absolute laser focus, anything is possible. So I just hope that they take that away. And then the fact that even though you might be younger, every single person this week has had a mentor as well, and that's huge. So somebody has wanted to work with that person. And I remember in one of the interviews, they said that they were lucky, and I picked up on it, that you're not actually lucky because you make your own luck, which is actually a statement which comes from my mentor. And I now say things like him, and it scares me because I'm not related. But somebody will, if you've got that laser focused drive and you're prepared to make the sacrifices day after day, and you keep doing that and doing that and doing that, somebody will work with you. And that seems to be the story from everybody, and I think that's what they'll pick up.
I agree, and I think, whilst we hope that Young Entrepreneurs Week will inspire other young entrepreneurs, I also want to say it's relevant for more experienced people, because I got so much inspiration from listening to these young people, and even more experienced people can still learn from younger people, can't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're in an age now where you can send them a message on Property Tribes, you can get on Property Tribes, send them a message on Facebook, you can reach out to these people. Even if nothing comes of it, it's inspiring, and it might just give you that renewed energy.
True.
Because property is a tough game, and it can be really lonely at times. So if you hear a success story, or you want to change something slightly in your business, talk to people. It's always been about who you know, not what you know, and the collective group can give you so much information, and they're going to push you all on. And just get out there and talk to people and get that energy back.
Quite. I think that's a wonderful way to say that. And Ryan, I have to say thank you to you for hosting this week, and I think that you've brought a real different angle to it than if I'd done it. I think it was so great to have a young entrepreneur talking to other young entrepreneurs, and as I said, we've got some fantastic content coming up this week, haven't we? And we want everybody to stay tuned. We've got new young entrepreneurs on Property Tribes every day with some really amazing, inspiring stories. So do stay tuned as Young Property Entrepreneurs Week on Property Tribes continues.